Hello.
Welcome back to the MSBA Coaches Lounge podcast.
Let's
Sorry, I just
go.
had to say something.
Let's
Oh man,
go. We
a
got
lot, a lot of energy here.
we got Noah. What up, Noah?
Hey,
We got Brandon,
What's going on?
the one and one Brandon, and the one and one Dominic, and the one and one Noah. That's what we got going on here right now. So, where should we start? Should we recap week one first?
no, we don't even do a recap of week
Oh, sorry,
one.
week two.
Oh,
Jeez, man, my bad.
um,
Yeah, Noah, lay off. Whoa.
hey,
Noah
chill,
came
man.
straight for your neck.
It's all good,
We don't
man.
got to do week
We could
one.
go over the what happened really. What happened? Were there any big upsets? Uh,
I mean, shit. I mean, people thought Brandon thought Fuku was gonna beat me. People thought Fuku was gonna beat me, so we can start there. Cause I'll have
wouldn't
fun.
consider that an upset though. I
No.
just think it was a good match, and I do think that if he had remembered to bring Rain Dance on Sableye, it would have been. I'm not saying that he would have swept you, but I think it would have gone to three.
Maybe. Possibly.
Good point.
I think I would.
I could
I
talk
think
on
But
three
I
too.
don't really know how much Rain Deal was a Rain Dance was a problem in that match because I never really set up Sun. The only thing it would have done was weaken my fire type moves.
weaken
I,
your fire type moves. Barraskewda would have
it,
just started
yeah, I was
outspeeding
saying.
everything, and that
I set up
liquidation would
Trick
have done
Room.
crazy damage.
Set up Trick
If
Room.
he if he would have set up, if he would have gotten Rain up first and then hit you with a
Yeah, he
was it Life Orb or Banded liquidation, then your Colossal would have been done.
Yeah, but I hit
Two,
Max
and then
done
Guard.
for Bunzo.
Hit Max Guard
What?
that turn. Yeah, the first turn I hit Trick Room Max Guard. It wouldn't have done anything.
Well, he might have Dynamax. It changes a
yeah,
lot if he's got the Rain Dance.
like you can't just go off of what exactly happened. Like this is a hypothetical in which he had Rain Dance. So if he would have turned one Rain Dance, maybe he would have max guarded two just to ensure he got it off with no damage or
I feel you
something.
guys. Don't worry about it.
So would have been a different story. I do think that I'm not saying that you would have lost, but I think it would have been different. Um, when I was watching that. Uh, I didn't expect to lose to Justin like I did, actually.
You should talk
And
about that because that was something
I
no one
mean,
expected.
That was painful to watch, Noah.
I
I was.
Painful to watch. I truly thought you just had no idea what anything did. Like you were
bro,
just clicking buttons.
I let me explain what happened. So
I want you to explain to me why you taunted under psychic terrain or
I didn't
misty
talk.
terrain.
I didn't talk. Oh, the fake out.
The fake out, the fake out, the fake out.
Yeah, no, that's just a bad habit of mine that I always forget that priority moves are negated in psychic terrain. Um, that's just I make that mistake on Showdown all the time. So that's just a really bad habit. On top of that, I'll be honest, I just really wanted to do something with more Pico. I thought I could make more Pico somewhat viable, but it didn't do anything game one, and a lot of my game plan kind of rested on more Pico. So I kind of went into it thinking like, okay, this is either going to go really well or really poorly, and it obviously went really poorly. And then, like I had also said, I just didn't realize Drampa was that bulky, and that powerful. That surprised me.
And that's
So
slow.
yeah, and that's low. Like, I mean, I'll talk my shit. I'm confident if I would have brought like Lapras or Shifu if I really wanted to, a couple of other different Pokemon. I'm confident I could have won there. Um, but I was playing around and you know
Cringe.
things happen. But
Well, let's just go down the line of battles then.
Benny Blake, that was surprising too, though.
Yeah, Blake got really unlucky. Watching that battle, I felt real bad. He was
I
missing
did not
moves
watch
left
it.
and he
What
was missing
exactly
moves
happened?
left and right. Like he missed
Oh,
multiple heat waves. Just bad,
Multiple.
multiple,
really?
like bad RNG. I felt bad, and like he played. I watched both of them, and I saw him this weekend. I we talked about it, and we both. I said like I think you would have won if you hit those moves. Like the only reason, and he was getting rock slide flinched, and he was missing heat waves and stuff like that. Oh, it was a bunch of rock slide misses. He was getting flinched, and he was missing rock slides in return. So it was just,
I guess sometimes you have to charge it to the game.
yeah.
Like
But he
sometimes
played
you're just
well
gonna
enough
be
to win.
unlucky.
He played well enough.
Yeah,
to
no,
win.
he played well. He didn't misplay at all. He was clicking the right buttons. They just weren't working.
Yep.
You gotta charge it to the game. That happens.
And
Um,
I made an error here, so let me fix that. Josh.
Josh Xavier, was that a
It was
2-0
a
or 2?
2-0. Yeah, I put it.
Yeah,
I
that
fixed
was a
it. I
2-0.
fixed it in the standings, but it was not fixed
Um,
there.
Yeah,
When I was
that,
watching that game, I truly didn't realize that I thought Xavier was the one filming, and I was like, man,
he got a Porygon too.
he's got Porygon too, and nobody knows. This is crazy.
Oh man. No, when I saw you say that, I thought I didn't really pay attention, so I was just like, oh, then that's a DQ. And then I was like, oh wait, that's just from Josh's perspective. No,
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
Mr.
their
unfair too,
Ryan,
teams
though.
look similar. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
they're
Mr.
both trick
Ryan
room
put it
teams.
in. He put in the work.
I mean,
Oh
Xavier,
yeah. Oh,
It did.
hold on. Before you go, I have to say this.
All right.
yeah.
Josh, I clowned you
Oh.
on here, in the group chat, everywhere for that Mr. Rhyme in the 3rd round pick. That pick was spicy. I'm talking about my man hit the ally switch. My man hit the helping hand. I was like, all right, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. That's a great support mon for his team. So I just wanted to say I apologize. Great
And the
pick.
screen cleaner. Amazing
And
ability.
their screen. Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. I gotta put a big part of that L. Josh came, he did his thing, like most definitely. He made all the right plays. He, you know, did nothing wrong really. But Xavier not bringing Trick Room on a single Pokemon,
Big oof.
that's his. I
It is a big
look.
oof.
I made a mistake with Fake Out and Psychic Terrain, but
Everyone's done that. Everyone's done that before,
you know
bro.
that mistakes happen. You not
Yeah.
bringing Trick Room. Come on, bro.
I'm surprised Josh didn't have it anywhere on his team, but he must have been expecting Xavier to have it, so he
To set
just
it up
didn't
for
even
him.
put
He
it.
didn't bring it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes
that's what I would have
sense.
done.
Yeah. Adam
You
and
don't.
Mitch. I heard Mitch played decent. I mean, just from what I heard.
The thing there is that Adam just happens to be really good.
Yeah.
Mitch, he played his heart out, but
Mhm.
sometimes if you're not experienced, especially with Pokemon,
You
sometimes
get
that
blown out.
you can get blown out.
Mitch
So,
is like the little engine that could this year. He's like Thomas the Train
Yeah.
right now. He's like hollering for attention and like
I'm rooting
saying
for him.
He's like hollering for attention.
he's always trying to be game of the week. Bro, if you win, you will be game of the week. If you beat
I don't
Blake,
know. Oh,
he
he
can-
beats Blake.
if he
Oh,
beats Blake,
man.
we can have a matchup with 3-0s, and Mitch and Benny would be game of the week. If Mitch wins once, he can come in here and talk his shit, but I'm not going to let him on, even though he made a waiver move until he wins the game. That's just how it's going to be.
Look, I'll get to that later. That waiver. I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Let's Brandon Bryant.
You can talk a little bit, Brandon. Go ahead, man.
Brandon, what happened there?
So I'm fixing the video right now because I was telling Noah it broke up into 3 different parts, but basically game 1 was all me, and then game 2 I just couldn't handle his Rotom wash. Like literally, it picked my whole team apart. And then truthfully, game 3 it came down to Dragapult versus Cinderace, and he literally just was outspeeding me on the 2-turn moves, bounce versus
Did he just set up a bunch of screens and Thunderwave and stuff?
I'm sorry, Cinderace?
Cinderace. Sorry.
Thank you. Keep going. No,
Cinderace is how it's actually pronounced.
is it really?
Yeah.
That's what Wolf said.
Asshole.
Okay, that's just not, I'm just not gonna believe that. That's just no,
Yeah. But the video will be up. I don't want to say too much. I want you guys to go see it and check it out if you want. It was a full 3 games. Like game 3, I didn't even get to pick my team. Like I ran out of time in the team select because I was like flustered. Like the 6 I thought he was gonna bring and I prepared for, he did not bring, and like it shows because like I thought he was gonna bring the Tangrowth, so I didn't bring Dracovish because I was like, all right, Kingdra and Dracovish technically do the same thing. One's a special sweeper, one's a physical sweeper. So I was like, I'll bring the Kingdra because he gets Hurricane, so that's flying coverage into Tangrowth on top of like the Charizard. Boy, was I wrong. He didn't even bring it.
F.
And he didn't even bring Urshifu.
He didn't bring Urshifu? That's his.
No Urshifu.
No, I knew what he was bringing after this afternoon because him and I screamed, and I was like, okay, whatever, do you?
It wasn't bad. He brought Rotom Wash, Klefki, Cinderace, Sylveon, Beartic, and Ninetales.
He really likes Beartic, man. He's getting kills.
Yeah,
I mean, Beartic,
smooth kills.
Beartic is good, especially in Hail. Like, it's something you can't ignore. That's the thing about doubles. I mean,
I respect Brian for running Hail. It's a tough.
Yeah, it's not an easy tech to run.
Weather. But yeah,
not an easy weather.
So Jacob,
and then what was our last one?
Troyer. We all watched that one. That one was just.
Yeah, Jacob had what, 3 missed hurricanes?
Yeah. Didn't Noah have a crit too?
Noah had a crit, but I calculated that afterwards because at first I said the crit mattered, but then I remembered like he had gotten the belly drum off.
Right.
And
but I was like high defense.
Yeah.
That was going off either way.
Yeah, I was like, no matter what. I was like, what was it? It was a max quake on the Gigalith. So that's super effective already, +4. Like, yeah, you're not in Sandstorm.
Yeah.
It wasn't living that by any means. Jacob did get a little unlucky though, but I think Noah's team just generally had just the edge in that battle. If Jacob would have led Machamp and like Inteleon and then spammed like that little crit tech he has going on, that would have been way better than what he initially did, in my opinion. But that just comes with experience. I don't know. That's what I think.
No, I agree.
I feel like everybody's battles this week that were shown were really like you could tell people are starting to understand their teams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Finding little alleys.
That's the best thing. That's the best part about draft leagues, in my opinion. Like once you really start to know your team and start carving out those little texts for yourself, that's when things start to get really interesting. So yeah.
Those happy accidents that you find in your team.
What'd you say, Dom?
Are fun.
True. So
happy accidents you find in your team.
Yeah, the strongholds that you didn't know existed before.
Yeah. That's me with wait 1 sec. Actually, nah. I can't say nothing yet. Can't say nothing yet.
Bad. I'm trying to update.
Y'all gonna see though.
Okay. Oh, we'll see.
Dom is unamused.
Well, yeah, I'm all right.
Dom doesn't believe in my team, but it's okay.
I do. But if we want to talk about teams, we got a lot of waiver moves.
We have a lot. Oh man.
Do we have what started the week off? Do we need to like scroll back in chat to look?
I have up to Adam's move.
What was that?
But I think that was the earliest move because he.
What do you do? My trade.
He dropped
the Excelgor.
Your trade with
yes.
Yeah, he dropped. He made the Excelgor move.
All right.
Which was hilarious because we were just talking about that.
Yeah, obviously there's more to that.
This one got me hot because as soon as he dropped and picked up Excelgor, I was like, Dom. I was like, "Are you trading him the Sandcastle?" And Dom was like, "I have no idea what he's doing because I'm not doing that." And I
I
was
didn't say
like,
that. I just said I don't know why he
all
did
right.
that.
I was like, all right, bro. Deep down, I was like, he not telling me something. I was like, all right, bro,
Dom
whatever.
knew.
He's like, he
Yeah.
knew what was going on. I was like, I'm just curious. I'm not going to get in the way of
Well,
it. I'm just curious.
the main orchestrator, the only person that we had to fear was Noah Troyer. If he was like, oh, but Noah's not keen enough to pick that up, that he was trying to pick up Excel Gore. So if it needed to happen, if Noah Troyer
I
tried to pick it up, I would have had to pick it up, and then we would have done a swap, like a 2-for-2 swap, and then I would have released the one Pokemon we traded for.
I was thinking of picking up Excelgor just because I wanted to like use it for round
Right.
because I just think round is just the most fun thing to do. Um,
But if we want to look at
but
that
yeah,
trade, I think that trade is really fair. I think I get some
you
really nice
you
versatility
had
out of
a
that.
couple moves.
I did. I did. I think the
You
Palisand for
traded.
Crook trade is good. The reason I didn't
I
want to run Excelgor Palisand is because I think if you know what's coming, then you can scheme a way to stop it. Whereas for me,
Yeah,
if I bring something like Crocodile, I can run it a bunch of different ways: support, utility, offensive, defensive, anchor point, moxie. I have a bunch of options, so that's why I was like, okay, I really want this Pokemon, and I know it's strong, so I'm like, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna pick that up. If we want to
it makes
run,
sense. I just don't know why he did it.
I think he wanted
uh,
to run the tech,
yeah. I think he just wanted to run the tech. I
and I
mean, I
think
get
that
that.
he had two dragon types. He has he the reason he drafted Dragology was because of I don't know. He just that was repetitive. Let me look at his team. I might be
I
confusing
mean,
his.
no, it's not. Dragagi was not a
I'm
bad pick. It was
confusing a
ninth round.
conversation with Fuku that I had.
Oh,
But yeah, I don't know. That was just something he wanted. He's got three ghost types on his team now, and he took one of the best resists away in Crook, but he still has T-Tar, so I don't know. I still think it was a good move for him overall. I think for both sides it'll work out.
yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was a good
But he
trade.
only has two physical attackers now.
He has the same problem Mitch has. Mitch
Yeah.
has a bunch of special attackers. Speaking of trades for you though, you also had a trade with Justin, and I think that was a good
Oh,
trade.
I forgot
Trade
about that
Talonflame
of
for
the
trade.
week.
Terrakion.
Forgot about that trade.
Trade of the week.
That was big.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly, I mean, a lot of
and I
people
think that
know.
hurt Justin's team
A lot of
more.
people know.
I think it, yeah,
I'll just talk. A lot of people know I was offering Terrakion to a lot of people, and I
yeah.
just texted him. This was the easiest trade I had. I texted him. I said, "What would you want for Terrakion? Like, who would you give up?" He said, "What are you thinking?" And I listed. Pretty sure I listed Talonflame, and I don't even know the other Pokemon. I said like Alakazam, and he said, "Oh, Terrakion, Talonflame, done." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh wow." He said,
That
he picked it up as trade bait, and I was like, "Sweet, all right, it fits perfectly
that's
for me."
Love.
big because
That's huge.
Talonflame is oh man, Talonflame made his team so much more threatening. Like when I was preparing for his team, I specifically did well, I didn't bring Amoonguss for a few reasons. Number one, because he had a bunch of psychic types, but number two, because of Talonflame,
With the wing beat
um,
shit, in case
Wing
he was
Beat,
sashed or Brave Bird, just open wing.
Tailwind, yeah.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
he did bring Talonflame, so it's like it's
Right.
not like I was like, oh dang, he didn't bring it. But I was like,
Yeah,
now,
you feared it for the right reasons.
yeah, I was like, but now, like I was like, oh, it's gone. Like, and it was Talonflame is a great support Pokemon too. So
Right.
now, I mean, he still has Riolu, which is really good, and Didi, which is good. But I think that trade def I don't really see how Terrakion fits into his team. So
No, I get
He's
it.
got hitters now.
He's got
yeah,
hitters. He does.
yeah, dude.
And then I guess I'll
Yeah,
talk about my last pickup real quick. I was going back and forth between Cherim and Ferrothorn for a week. Because once I got Crocodile, I didn't need Mandibuzz, even though Mandibuzz is one of my favorites. And the reason I picked Cherim was just because of Cherim's utility in Sun. If you guys don't know, Flower Gift boosts your
yeah.
allies' Pokemon's
Mhm.
attack and special defense and multiplies by 1.5. So, I could lead Cherim Ninetales and then the sun goes up, switch out Ninetales or keep Ninetales in or something, or Colossal,
Is that
Arcanine.
permanent? Flower Gift is a permanent boost?
While you're in sun, yeah. So if you're in sun, it's a
Wait, but
boost.
does Cherim have to be on the field for
Yes,
it to
Cherim has to be
pop?
on the field. So
Okay.
Okay.
so if you
That's
know,
not bad.
no, it's not bad. It's quick. Like I remember I was playing against it on the ladder once, and I'm like, why did this Ninetales not just die? I used like a very strong special attack against it, and I realized it's attack and special defense, which is a two like really it boosts your attack, and if you're a special attacker or special like whatever, you get my point. It works. The only reason I didn't pick Ferrothorn up, even though I know that Ferrothorn is really good in VGC right now, it's getting a lot of use. I just couldn't do it because having it with Sun, it's times 4 weak to fire. Like even if the opponent packed like a fire move on something random, I don't think I would live. So yeah, I don't know.
I just hate Ferrothorn because it cost me a match last season.
Yeah,
Um, so I can't pick it out of principle for that.
right.
I respect
Um,
that. I respect
I
that.
just even if it was like the Pokemon that would like make my team like the most threatening team in the league, I would not pick it up. Like it's that bad for me. Um, no, I want to go into Noah Troyer because
Oh no,
he
you gonna let me rip
had.
him to shreds?
I'm gonna
Yes,
give it a
please.
minute.
Okay.
He had the
I've
biggest.
been waiting all week for this.
He had the most moves. So let me just recap his moves real quick, Dom. So he traded. One sec. He traded his Dusclops and Raichu to Fuku for Whimsicott and Gallade.
Ugh.
He
Which just
also
blows my mind.
he traded Josh Jellison for Clefairy. And then he also dropped Clefable and picked up Lantern. That I was okay, look.
Ugh.
I'm a big fan of Whimsicott. I just am. I do think Dusclops went a little bit better with his team, but I don't try to get into people's heads. So I was like, you know what? You might have a plan going. I'm gonna let you rock. Whimsicott's a good Pokemon in my book. I thought it was looking at it on paper, it was an okay trade.
Yeah.
The Jellicent for Clefairy, I think that was a good trade. Clefairy is probably one of the best support Pokemon in the meta right now. Just point blank period, I thought it was a good trade. Dropping Clefable and picking up Lantern, that's where he lost me.
I
Um,
so he
Go ahead,
made what
Dom.
was the so he traded Clefairy with Josh for what?
Jellicent.
What happened first? The
What the first trade was with Fuku for
okay,
well
so what
he did
happened
all of these at
at
the same
once?
time
Okay, so we
basically.
don't know.
So
So Noah took the two best Pokemon that are used the most with Snorlax, his definite sweeper, and traded one of them away for Tailwind support. And he already had a Follow Me user, so he released the Follow Me user for Lantern.
Mhm.
Lantern is terrible. It is terrible. It
Volt
can't.
Absorb.
It has. It doesn't matter. That's not lightning rod. We just ignore it. It has water absorb too. Just ignore it. Hit it with something else. He traded that. He could have picked up anything else, and I might have thought it was okay. But to trade your best Pokemon in support with your main sweeper for something that goes completely against your team staple of having like a slower team with Trick Room for a Tailwind user, I mean, unless he's focusing on sweeping Haxorus, Bravier, and Gallade all the time, which maybe. But then he also gets rid of his other best Trick Room mod in Jellicent, besides Dusclops, obviously, and then he tries to release his one lone Trick Room setter in Masharna. I thought it just doesn't have a sense of concept. It's not good.
At all.
It makes no sense. He
How
complete. I was drunk when he made those moves, and you guys said you saw me right. That was absolutely awful. I ranted
I
about it
mean,
to Noah for like a couple minutes. I just can't.
it wasn't. Be honest, it was probably like a whole hour. Um, I mean, look, Brandon, what do you think, man? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. Like, I don't truly know what to think of what he's going on here because it's not like you can play for the rebuild. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, we get a whole new team next year. Um,
right.
Like I truly don't get what Whimsicott was needed here for, and you can't tell me it was for the tailwind because Braviary was there that he drafted, and then it's not
Oh,
like
it
he has
does
any
say Tailwind.
sweepers. Yeah, so it's like he doesn't. It's not like he has sweepers who, after one tailwind, are going to be outspeeding stuff. So
Yeah.
I I want to wait to see what he does week 3.
Yeah, I play him. So I mean,
Game of
I've
the week.
already, yes, the knowable. No,
The
I had
Luster's
already like
lost now.
planned for him beforehand, and these trades, I took the team that I made and I just deleted it. Like I I rebuilt a whole new team because I'm still trying to figure out what he's doing here because Incineroar doesn't really go with Lantern, but well, I guess he could maybe try to be like, oh, that's what he's doing.
He has no plan.
Oh,
If
no,
you
he's
have an
gonna
idea of a
run
plan, please
Lantern.
tell me.
He's gonna run Lantern on the back row and then try to switch Lantern in on like, let's say I go for like a Max Geyser with Lapras. He's gonna try to switch Lantern in with that. Um,
Or Max Lightning or something.
Max Light, yeah, one of the two. Um,
But
For
it
what?
just seems like
For
it's a
no.
total
For what?
like I
What are
don't
you
know.
swinging? What are you swinging that geyser into? You're gonna
Incineroar.
In
protect
four.
Cineroar?
Yeah, like this is
I'm not hearing it.
hypothetical. This is hypothetical.
I
So
hope
I'm
that's
just
not what he traded that for.
like I'm hoping. Actually,
We gonna
that's
have him on. We gonna
okay.
have him on. He gotta explain this.
Yeah, we gonna the Clefairy and what you said about the follow me. I think get if I had to choose between like Clefairy and Clefable, if I could trade for Clefairy, I'm taking Clefairy
Yeah, that makes
because
sense. That part makes
that
sense to me.
and dropping Clefable for Lantern, I was confused by, but that makes me. I was happy for Mitch
Yeah, the Mitch
because
move. That was great by Mitch. Can
now that Blastoise is going to be very dangerous.
Hmm.
All he needed was one turn to get a Shell Smash off, and now he has that. Actually, we need to update the
Yeah, so
roster.
the reason we didn't update the
Who
roster
did he
because
drop for
he dropped
Clefable?
Gengar.
Gengar.
Gengar, right?
Yeah,
Who picked Gengar up? Fuku tried to pick it up, or
Jacob. Everyone
Jake.
kind of gunned for it.
But then
I don't
Jacob's
know.
the only
You
one that
said
can get it because of
he was at the
being number
top.
one. So
I had
Um,
him. I had screenshotted when he got drafted, when he got dropped, and I was gonna claim him 1 minute, 24 hours, and 1 minute later.
cringe.
no, I mean, looking at his team, he has a lot of special attackers already. Um, I guess Gengar just didn't really. I'm not saying Gengar's a bad Pokemon. I just think it didn't really have a place on that team.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. With Mitch, he's definitely like the wild card this season because he has the type of team that can. I'm gonna say it. He has the type of team that can easily get to the finals. Not easily, but he could get to the finals if he played it right. You know what I mean? Historical.
100%.
Now he might.
Yeah, it,
Now it's better.
especially now with the Clefable. Like he has a lot of options now. It just kind of comes down to if he's gonna, play this to the fullest potential. But I'm gonna still root for him, except for when I don't play him, so I
So
get
you
to
can
root
just
for
root
him every
for him for
week.
free.
What'd you say?
You can just root for him for free.
Exactly. I'm his biggest fan right now.
I'm his biggest fan.
But
I'm
let's
You're
talk
so
about
hilarious.
yeah,
the Fuku and Blake trade. The Fuku,
yes.
his team was
That
real good, and
let
now
me
it's
John
still
real quick.
good.
Let me
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go over the trade.
Okay.
So Blake traded Gyarados and Oranguru for Grimmsnarl and Sableye. And then Fuku got rid of all three prankster users on his team. And per his words, he can win without them.
Yeah, if he makes it, he just picks up a new mon every couple of weeks.
I don't blame him.
um,
I
I
don't think
think I don't know. It's his team's a toss up. He's he's stuck in like a weird speed tier. Like I don't know. He's not. It doesn't look like he's going for like trick room, but doesn't look like he's just going to out trying to outspeed everything. the Obstagoon is weird too.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I think Blake's team becomes a lot better after this trade. Like,
Absolutely.
I think Blake really won that trade.
I don't
I
think
think so as well.
I think the trade was fine for both sides, but I look at Blake's team now. Yes, he has like Grimmsnarl and Sableye, help some of his other Pokemon out. But he doesn't have like Mudsdale has offensive pressure, and like so does Hydreigon and Vikavolt. Darmanitan, I guess, but I feel like he doesn't have like enough like well-rounded offensive pressure for it to like make that much of a difference.
I don't know about that.
I get both
I think
sides. I think the trade makes his team better overall because Blake likes to do gimmicky stuff and like Gyarados is not gimmicky at all. You just press buttons and run like either Scarf, Sash, Life Orb, something like that. So I get that, but I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I think it seems threatening. I think, I mean, my personal bias might be getting in the way, but I'm a big fan of Mudsdale.
Right. It's
And
good.
you said it
Much
applies
was a great
some offensive
Pokemon.
pressure. I think after two max quakes, Mudsdale is probably like the most threatening thing on the field. Um, because I mean, and we all know what it does, so I'm not gonna like spend another 5 minutes going into that. But yeah, after two max quakes, he gets his special defense up a little bit with that vest, and he has Grimmsnarl there to set up some screens for some extra support. Like it's going to be very difficult to take that out. And like this is coming from somebody like y'all know me. I love to play like a very like defensive game. Like I love to stall. Um, Looking at my team, you wouldn't really guess that, but like that's how I prefer to play. Mudsdale is the best candidate for that. And with Sableye too, I think Blake. I wouldn't say he has one of the best teams in the league, but I think he's definitely like massively upgraded his team.
Yeah, I second everything Noah said. He literally took the words right out of my mouth. I think Blake's team isn't like by any means necessarily a top four team in the league, but it definitely moves him into, I think, closer to that echelon than he was
Yeah.
before the trade went down.
I think
Right.
Fuku's team. I think Fuku probably lost the trade, but because now his team just seems like a mishmash of Pokemon that
Yeah.
don't really go. They don't have synergy. Like if he kept one
Starting
of
to
the
look a
Prankster,
little bit like Fellas.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does going forward. Is there any other deals? I mean, what did Josh traded
Um,
Clefairy for? What we can talk about Josh's team.
Fuku.
Oh, Jellison
Um,
works good on Josh's team. He didn't really need Clefairy that much, so
yeah.
that trade's fine.
And Jellison also has access to strength stat,
Yep.
which is really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
But other moves, Fuku did he got rid of Barraskewda for Obstagoon,
Big thing.
which
Uh,
um
it was okay.
Obstagoon is a cool Pokemon, but I've always been a little like it was one of my favorite ones, like seeing it before the game came out just by design,
Right.
but I'm still unsure about how good it can truly be. I feel like if
Yeah,
you want
Fuku's
it to
got
be
three
good, you
normal
have to,
types.
yeah, fighting type will have his way.
Yeah. Well, he's got Togekiss and Dusclops, so
Man,
At least Obsidian is like the coolest looking shiny. At least one of them.
it's up there.
man, I was I was breeding him one, and then I hatched a shiny. I got so hyped. Innocent alert balls too. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it on all the big moves. There was a couple smaller ones I think,
I
like
think they're for next week though.
but yeah, those are all for next week.
So yeah, the Drifblim 80 slasher Drifblim won't take place till next week. Passimian for something? I don't know what it was off the top of my
I
head.
think I got it down. Passimian for
Centiskorch, which will become G-Max Centiskorch. I don't know if Blake is
Yes, it
playing
will.
G-Max Grimmsnarl. That might be something we need to ask him.
That would be pretty
I
interesting, though.
it would be fun. Don't know how viable. What is it?
It-
It
It'd be
confuses.
cute.
The G-Max Grimmsnarl's move?
Yeah, does it
It's like a
confuse it with the
yawn.
screen? Oh, okay.
So
Eh, that's interesting.
yeah, I don't know if he's claiming it though. He's never said
Oh,
anything.
my move, Ribombee.
Oh yes, yes.
That's very simple. So as y'all know, Morpico absolutely failed me. So I was like,
Absolutely failed me.
what's something else that I can use, but that's not like that still be fun. And then I was like, I don't want my team to be in Trick Room like all the time. And I feel like Marowak is only good in Trick Room because it's slow and has a lot of common weaknesses. So how can I get around that? Oh wait, there's Speed Swap. Um, and that's pretty much all Ribombi's good for. Like looking at its other moves, it doesn't really have much else going on for it. So that's what that's there for. But I have a couple of other tricks up my sleeve for Ribombi. Guess y'all gonna have to stay tuned for that. But
Okay.
I mean, everyone knows about Speed Swap. So I mean, I think Josh even said it as soon as I picked it up. Um,
So, if
so
you
yeah,
had to pick one team that improved the most after this week, who would you say?
Noah Troyer. No, I'm playing. Um,
Ah,
Blake.
okay.
I think it'd be Blake.
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of marginally improved. He hasn't
Me?
like
I
been
marginally
drastic.
improved? I understand.
I think you marginally because your team was already really good. So
Yeah.
like I don't think that your moves like set your team just on a whole nother level. It just kind of maintained that same
I feel.
threat.
I feel.
Your team still loses to Inteleon.
Yeah.
Oh, so who?
First of
I
all,
can't wait for you to play Jacob because he'll have his way with you.
yeah.
Tripping.
He'll have his
Well, I
way.
play him next. I play him this week. So if you just want to start
You
talking
do?
about that, it's the first game up. Yeah, it's right
Jacob,
there.
Uh oh, let's get into it.
get right into it then. I'll go first. Let me get these out the way. Jacob versus Dominic. Okay. I know I was just talking that shit, but I think Dominic will squeeze out the win.
Damn.
I think Jacob will get a game though.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
he got a game off
and
me last year.
if things fall his way, he might be able to pull out a win, but I'd say like 70-30 odds in Dom's favor.
Okay.
Um, Fuku Justin.
What do you want? We've been doing it one game at a time.
Oh,
So
one game at a time. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all go
So
ahead.
I got myself. I have not planned for Jacob at all, but I have to pick myself every week, or else I look like a coward.
Not
So
bad.
I changed my stance from last time. What you got,
Or
Brian?
else I look like a coward. You keep switching up your stance on that.
Well, one win, they got my confidence back.
No, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
Um, I'm definitely taking on paper, Dom. It looks like you're gonna lose
Oh.
just because you got all. I see fire, 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 and you look at Jacob's team. You see water, water, water. So typing matchup, I'm giving to Jacob. I think you might be a better player, but Jacob's no hoe. I'm definitely going with Jacob.
Cringe. Wow. Okay. Whatever. Fuku versus Justin.
He's
Justin.
mad now.
Nah, I
Yeah,
just said
he's a little
cringe.
hot.
I just said cringe. I didn't say anything
Uh-huh.
else.
Fuku versus Justin. I got Justin.
Last week you picked against me, Brandon. Look what happened to you.
Maybe I'm your good luck charm then, Dom.
Keep picking against me then. Fuku versus Justin. Oh God. What do you got, Brandon? I actually don't know.
I got Justin.
Okay.
I got Justin. I think Rillaboom, Boom Boom Room can be versatile this match, and I just think he's gonna get the coaching off. We'll see what happens.
I got Fuku in this one. I think that the matchup favors Fuku. I think Fuku's going to come out even stronger than last week.
Are
That's
you saying that because I picked Justin
no,
and you're mad because I didn't pick you?
no. You beat me in the pick'em last week,
Woo.
so I've got it. I'm not
Beat you in
just
the pick
picking. I'm
me
not
before
trying
that.
to pick against you intentionally. This is just what I think. So we got Benny versus Adam. I got
Benny versus Adam.
this is like
That's
the
they're
game of
both
the
2 and
week.
0, right?
Yeah, this is like the game of the week. That's not the game of the week, but definitely could be game of the week.
Um, I'm gonna take Adam because melodic. Um, well, yeah, because he normally has Gastrodon to like to redirect, with Storm Drain, but melodic has muddy water, so that kind of negates that. And
Wait. How does that negate it?
not negated, but it doesn't.
It doesn't
It
do
still it'll
both.
hit both.
Yeah, it'll hit one.
It
It will
does.
hit one of them, but not the other. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if he has extra drill out, that's a non-factor. And he still has, well, the Palossand tech won't work because of Storm Drain, so he doesn't have that. But you know, um, Milotic is big there, and Starmie, I think that would be big too.
Mm.
Um, I think he kind of just handles Benny's team pretty fairly.
Okay. Brandon, what do you got?
Hmm. I've been looking at these teams trying to figure out.
I
I truly don't know. I think because it's just like the battle of the sand. But I think Benny's gonna take it because I think he'll be able to use the sand more often, more like advantageously. And I see what you mean, Noah, about Militic and the muddy water and being able to still hit like Hippowdon and Excadrill. And I
Hmm.
mean, you had Rotom Heat, but I think Benny has something for that.
I
I
think
don't know
Okay,
what because he doesn't really have a counter to Milotic besides, I mean, I guess Rotom Heat, but I don't know if Rotom Heat does enough damage or what you could do to a Rotom Heat to make it do enough damage. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I got Benny just for the reasons Brandon just said. I think for
that's
some
fair.
reason I think that like Zoroark and like Bisharp can like really do well this match. And Aegislash, he has it for another week because that move doesn't go in effect till. Does it go in effect this week? I don't think he does.
No,
So he could bring those, and I think that he could have fun with Adam's team. I think that's going to be the difference. It's like Bisharp. All right, what's
that's
next?
fair.
What's next? What is next?
Like an
Brandon
Josh.
itch,
Josh.
right?
No, it's you
Oh,
versus Josh.
you already know how I feel about it.
Um,
Nothing against you, Josh. You my boy, but I'm coming for your
I don't
soul.
know, man. This is an interesting one.
Well,
The
I mean,
Volcarona.
yeah, Josh, he finally had a good showing. He was like the him and Blake were the least valuable players in week one, I would say. But week two, Josh showed
You
why he's
know,
in the league. Like he showed that he's a good battler, man.
you know what? Brandon, I got nothing against you, but I think I'm gonna go with Josh. I
Nothing wrong
think
with that.
that Galarian Weezing is really gonna mess up a lot on your team. That
Nothing
neutralizing
wrong with
gas.
I think I got
Mm,
Brandon still. I
no,
think.
I'm a root for the underdog here.
I mean, if you look at Brandon's team,
It's threatening. He
he's
has
just got
answers
things
for
like G
everything.
Max Charizard and stuff. Like he can run like a normal Charizard. Doesn't have to run the justified stuff. He has just so many threats that like they don't even need an introduction.
That's fair. I'm happy to root for the underdog though.
Okay. What's the next one? We got London on the track. No, we
That's
got.
not.
London on the
That's
track.
not.
Whatever
Mitch
happened to
versus
that guy?
Blake. Oh, y'all already know. Y'all already know who I'm going with. Mitch is taking the dub.
You think so?
Absolutely. Let me see. Mitch has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Mitch
think Mitch
has.
can actually win. Mitch's
He
team
has
matches up
options.
so well against Blake's team.
Ludicolo takes care of Hydreigon,
Blastoise
Midge,
destroys him.
Blastoise,
Blastoise destroyed Smugsdale. Politoed is going to
Polytoad.
be a threat. The only if Blake switches to weather with Sableye, that's like the only thing that he can do to really stop him. But dude, rain, that's a problem.
That
So
Gardevoir could do work there too. And actually, the Togedemaru would not be a bad.
yeah, that wall is a Grimmsnarl with Steel, and Alchemy, and
Yeah,
Togetic.
until Getamaru gets a eerie impulse to lower special attacks,
But
fake out.
here's the thing though. Blake is going to come out swinging. Like
Oh, absolutely.
he has lost
He's
two
got a head full of
times
steam.
without taking a game. A game. This dude won 10 games last year. He hasn't won a game. Not even.
And I feel like
He's been 2-0 twice.
Yes.
He's making your family look weak right now.
Well,
For those of you who don't know,
I made up for it
put it
last
like this. Whenever someone battles Mitch, like it becomes that much more important that you don't lose because losing, like it's okay to lose to anyone else, but losing to Mitch,
he's prepared. He texted me talking about,
Mitch
I got
ready.
a strategy. Blake's getting blown out the water. If Blake gets 2-0 by Mitch again,
I'm quitting.
like
I'm
you
quitting.
gotta chill.
Dude,
I'm trading my.
I hope
I'm
Blake hears this.
retiring.
He said they were a little long last time. I'm gonna make sure he tunes into this one. I got Mitch.
All right, let's keep him.
Brandon, what you got? You didn't pick.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I got Mitch, 100%.
There we go.
Oh man. All right, Xavier versus Brian. Brandon, you gotta start this one. You gotta talk about what you were talking about, man, because I don't, not all of it, but your motivational tactic for this week didn't even matter.
Bro, you know something funny? It would have. I would have beat him game 2, but my Azumarill, it wasn't complete, and
What do you mean?
I messed up. I forgot to change the water move on it from Aqua Tail to Aqua Jet because Aqua Jet has priority.
Cringe. That's an epic.
Cringe like crazy. But Brian's team is really sauce. I didn't play Xavier because he was busy, which I understand. I'm definitely taking Brian. Actually, I'm taking Xavier.
Well, okay.
I'm taking Xavier, yeah. Because that hail is no joke.
I'm taking Brian. I would take Xavier, but hey man, he didn't bring Trick Room last time. I just can't let that go. Like that's just telling me your head's not in it.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not calling it Cinder Ace. I think Cinderace does a lot of damage to his whole team. Like I've played Cinderace against Katarina and DD leads, like it wrecks it. I think Brian has a better matchup here.
Yeah, I mean a smack steel spike is no joke to anything on Xavier's team. I got Brian.
I got Brian.
Brian is 2-0, right?
Yeah, he's 2-0. He's leading the Shield division, isn't he?
Hey, he's coming out swinging.
And so is Noah Troyer. We got talk your shit, Kings. This is the promo for the Noah Bowl. We got both Noahs in here. God, you didn't have to downplay my intro like that, Noah Baker.
All right, Noah. So yeah, we need an explanation. For me, I just need to know what would you think of with the lantern. Everything else kind of made sense to me. Dom's clearly upset about it, though.
No.
And Brandon.
Everything made sense until he just asked me what he just asked me.
Oh, yeah.
Now I need explanations for everything.
So you didn't know that Gallade had Justified?
No, I knew that it had Justified. I didn't know if it was its hidden ability or not. I didn't know if I
Oh, okay.
No,
Never mind.
Justified was its hidden ability.
Okay.
Abilities. I just didn't know if it was its hidden ability.
I was over here thinking he didn't know.
No. I can't keep track of every Pokemon's hidden ability. That stuff there's too many. They all blend together. But do you want an explanation for the moves?
Sure, bro.
Yes. You can go one by one. However, start whatever order you want to.
All right. Well, I guess we should start with the big one. I guess the biggest one was probably trading away Dusclops, which was the main bulk and Trick Room setter on the team. I figured I had so many Trick Room setters that were already available on my team. Like now I've got Whimsicott. I still have Musharna, even though I am actively trying to drop it and pick up a waiver claim or trade if anybody's interested in Musharna. But I have Whimsicott, who knows Trick Room now, which I think with
Whimsicott learns
Prankster,
Trick Room. Nigga, win. Oh,
it does. I looked it up. It learns Trick Room.
But it's not Prankster Trick Room. But Whimsicott's so fast that it's like a pointless Trick Room setter.
But that's the thing. My biggest dilemma all year was, or not all year, but since the beginning of the season was, I wanted some variety and I wanted the ability to run different sort of sets depending on the matchup. Because obviously I still have Trick Room with a lot of the Pokemon that I have. The Trick Room is the main strategy. But I wanted the ability to maybe put out a faster team that can hit a little bit harder if needed, because I know a lot of people who know how to play around Trick Room very easily.
fair.
That's why this Noah Bowl is going to be a little tricky now that Noah's got that Rabombi. I know, speed swap.
Yes,
And
sir.
he's got the ability to play around the Trick Room, so I've got to be a little crafty this week, putting out a lineup that I think will win. But Dusclops, mainly I was like, apart from Bulk and Trick Room, it was basically there for support, and I figured trading that away would allow me to get the same thing in return with a little more variety. That's why I got Whimsicott in return from Fugu, as well as Gallade for Raichu. Now, the reason I picked up Gallade was I was missing a fighting type on my team, and I know how good Gallade can be if it's set up the right way. Obviously, beat up, justified Gallade is a thing. Obviously, Whimsicott helps me with that. And Raichu mainly. Fuku was the one who asked about Raichu. He really thought Raichu would fit his team nicely, especially now that he has Gyarados. So the Lightning Rod will help him out.
I didn't even think about that.
But a lot of people, I know you guys are questioning the Lantern pickup. Lantern, obviously,
Yes.
Raichu was mainly on my team for an electric type as well as Lightning Rod, because I know how
It doesn't have Lightning Rod.
Yes, it does.
It has
Does it really?
Absorb.
Raichu does, yeah, Raichu.
Oh yeah. That's correct.
But I'm saying Raichu had Lightning Rod, so obviously if anybody was sending out electric types to take down, whatever it may be in my team, if I was running Braviary or something, I would have Raichu in the back to soak up any electric type attacks. So basically I picked up Lantern for the Volt Absorb, since essentially it's the same thing apart from one boosts special attack and the other boosts. Volt Absorb just heals it, right? Correct?
Yes, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Volt.
Lightning Rod redirect.
Yeah.
Volt Absorb does not redirect,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. But I'm not 100% about that.
I mean, I might just test it out right now.
Lantern, I feel like Lantern could be run in a Trick Room team if needed because of how slow it is. And it's not even a bad Pokemon. It's very bulky. It's a good Pokemon to send out to soak up some hits.
But it doesn't do
pretty
any
good type.
damage.
It depends on how you run it. Maybe I'll figure out a way to make.
So yeah,
it
Volt Absorb works where you're targeted. If you
You know what?
switched out Lantern into Braviary from these 4 Braviary, if it was an electric type move, it would hit it. But if you had Lantern on the other side of the field and they used an electric move on your other Pokemon, it wouldn't work. Lightning Rod
That
redirects it. Yeah.
So,
All right.
well, you know what? No, I mean, now that you've explained it, I respect it. You're going for some new things. You are definitely stepping outside the box.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I think my main.
I didn't even.
Oh.
I was gonna say I didn't even get. Obviously I picked up Clefairy as well and dropped Clefable.
That was good. That was good.
That was
we
bad.
all thought that
I
was
feel
good.
like I made a good move there, obviously, and I gave
was
Josh something that he was interested in. He was the one who offered up who offered up Clefairy in exchange
Really?
for yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
eye-opening. I did not know that.
Originally,
I thought it was the other way around for sure.
Yeah, no. Originally, I had offered Clefable in return for Clefairy. I basically tried to justify it to Josh as I figured apart apart from it being an Inviolite user and getting a little more bulk, they obviously get access to the thing. Wouldn't be missing out on any offensive capabilities. You'd be getting more offensive capabilities just because its stats are higher. And obviously, my battle against Jacob with using Clefable proved that it can be a threat offensively against the right team. But he wasn't interested in a straight swap Clefable for Clefairy, but I went back and asked him if anything else piqued his interest, and he said Jellicent, and I again used the rationale of having Pokemon on my team who have Trick Room. A lot of the Pokemon that I picked up kind of in the middle to late round were Mons that I wanted to have learn Trick Room just in case I needed to set it up later in the match if Dusclops had already gone down. So getting rid of Jellicent really didn't hurt my team too much in my opinion. Obviously, it's a good Pokemon to have. It's bulky. It's good typing. Gets access to a lot of good moves. But I figured that Jellicent was a disposable asset of the team, and I think I've got good coverage on my team and a lot more variety as well.
I think the main thing I have a gripe with is still like the Whimsicott Dusclops swap, just because Dusclops and Cineroar are like the top two partners for Snorlax. Like those have the best synergy, and like to me, like even if Whimsicott has Tailwind or Trick Room, it's like Snorlax, like ally switching with Snorlax is good. And you did like the Follow Me is still there with Clefairy, so it's not like a big deal that you got rid of that. But like Dusclops and like they shared the same immunities. Incineroar is the Intimidate user. So to me, I still don't like that aspect of the trade. But I do think the Clefairy for Clefable swap was good, or the Clefable for Clefairy swap. And I mean, I'm still not on board with the Lantern thing, but that's all right.
But,
it's not my decision.
Now that he's explained it, we can't wait to see.
Right.
The Noah Ball's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, and the Glade part was. The Glade pickup with Whimsicott was very important. At least, like, I feel like that helped the trade out a lot more. Because if you just got something like Passimian or, like, Diggersby, though. I feel like that would have helped out more. I mean, that would have been worse. So at least you took the one justified user with you when you picked up Whimsicott. So I do think, though, like, you have a little bit more potential now with Whimsicott, with Haxorus and Braviary, because now you can actually tap into those like really high attack stats. So, but you don't have
stupid.
You don't have like any special attacker besides Vileplume and Musharna, and I guess Whimsicott. But
that's the thing is I picked the Lantern pickup was honestly at this point just kind of I needed something I just wanted to get something in that gave me the option for some bulk, because obviously Clefable is pretty bulky.
Right.
At least what it's basically bulky. I just wanted to get something in. I honestly, it could be dropped to the waiver next week, but I'm just going to see if there's anything that I might be able to do with it at this point. Right. I mean, I've been running on Showdown a little bit with some of the new pickups, and I've had some success, so I'm excited to really test it out on Sword and Shield rather than Showdown.
So if you hit so what's your prediction for the Noah Bowl, Noah Troyer?
You just want a straight up score time prediction?
No, what do you think?
Just who you think is gonna win? I mean, if you don't say yourself, then I'm really gonna run away with this.
Obviously, I'm gonna say myself. I think my team matches up well against Noah's, especially now that I have Gallade on the squad. Gallade is kind of hurts Noah's team. I've been taking a peek. And I just think I think I'll have something cooking.
He said he's got something cooking.
No, when I battle him.
Okay.
So,
well, I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna go 2-1. 2-1 to me.
All right.
2-1 you. Kind of funny because I said the same thing my way.
Sounds good.
Well, I can't wait. And just so everyone knows, it will be streamed in high quality this time around.
Let's go.
So the Noah Bowl will be monumental.
All right, y'all.
All right,
that's the promo for the Noah Bowl. So.
Swag.
All right.
All right.
Peace out.
I'm gonna hop off, y'all. I'll see y'all.